So this morning Moby is getting some tuition from Barney and from Rio. Basically he's being collied this morning. So by being collied, it means he's learning that he's around other dogs that move quickly. Fast movement will always trigger a dog, will always get them interested. So he's around fast moving dogs that actually don't want to play the way that he does. And that's what he needs to learn. Not every dog is there to play with. Just because they move quickly and they run after a scent, it doesn't mean they're playing, it doesn't mean they want to play. And that's what Moby needs to learn. So this is socialisation. This is learning to have a conversation with other dogs. This is learning about how dogs communicate. And if we never let our dogs do this, then they're never going to learn. And because of that, we then get reactive dogs. And then when you're out on a walk, you've got your dog on a lead, they're generally more reactive on a lead anyway, because we put our human emotions through that lead. And then we get reactive behaviour. So how lovely would it be to just go for a walk, have your dog off lead, you see another dog, no worries, no issues. Your dog runs up to that other dog, and that other dog doesn't want to talk. So it'll either snap, have a little snap at your dog, or it will just stand completely still, no reaction whatsoever, and completely ignore your dog. Or it will run and play. So either way, it doesn't matter what the dog does. What you're looking for is that your dog can understand that language. And your dog will either run and play if it wants to, or your dog will understand that a very still, unreactive dog says, I'm not interested, so your dog will walk away. Or if your dog gets snapped at, it hasn't been attacked, it's been told, I'm not interested, leave me alone. And a lot of puppies, a lot of youngsters will get that. They will get that. Oh, you're here. I was wondering where you were. They will get that snap. That's quite common for an older dog, an adult dog, to snap at a puppy, because what they're actually doing is just saying, mind your manners, youngster, and they'll do that straight away. It doesn't mean that that older dog doesn't like puppies. It doesn't mean that your puppy is now going to be scared of every dog it meets. It's their natural communication, and we have to let that happen. Otherwise the dog never learns what to do when it meets another dog. And it's all right being safe with the leads, and if you see a dog on a lead, put your dog on a lead. Yep, I agree with that to a point. However, if I've got one of mine on a lead because I'm doing lead work, or because I want to get Moby used to other dogs running up to him and nothing happens, that's quite an important lesson to learn. So I teach that with Moby. He's on a lead, other dogs come running up to him, and he learns that when he's on a lead, he just walks and nothing happens, and he takes my lead. So that's quite a big lesson that we're doing at the moment with him. But people see him on a lead and then they put their dogs on a lead. So I'm actually shouting ahead, can you leave your dogs off? It's absolutely fine. I'm just doing lead work, that's all. So my advice, I suppose, is let's talk to each other a bit more, because we're all out with our dogs because we love our dogs. So let's talk to each other so we can get the best for our dogs. These sunflowers and corn crops are really interesting. Phew, bless. Sorry, Barney, I interrupted you there. Okay, I'm seeing a lot more socialisation issues with dogs at the moment, because what we're doing with the leads is we've got the dog on the lead because we see another dog, and then we approach that person and we've got the lead and we're waiting to see what our dog does. And if our dog was really calm and didn't show any interest in that other dog, and the dog did the same thing, they just weren't interested, they didn't want to look at each other, didn't want to say hi, nothing like that, they're just walking, you're like, oh yeah, that's fine, I can let them off, that's fine. But unfortunately, guys, that's not normal for a dog. Unless they're an older dog, it's not actually that normal. You do get some dogs that are not interested in other dogs, but for the most part, they're always going to want to just get to within a little short distance of each other so they can sniff each other, sniff the air around each other, assess the energy, basically have a conversation. Would you take your child to a park and say, right, don't play on anything, don't play with any kids, but just be there, okay? But I don't want you talking to any other children. You wouldn't do it. It's not normal. So don't do it to your dogs. Let them be a dog and let them talk. And what you need to do, if you're not sure about the socialisation of your dog, whether your dog's a little bit hyper, is pick the dog that can handle that. Pick the dog that's calm enough. Pick the dog that can teach your dog what you need the dog to learn, i.e. with Moby. If I'm out on a walk and I can see I've got a very playful dog in front of me, then I'm happy for him to play with that dog. At the same time, when I need him to learn that actually dogs aren't all about play, I again pick the right dogs that I know can tell him what's right and wrong without it escalating, and also without me getting abuse from the owners, because I don't want that. But a lot of the abuse, it comes from fear, because we want to protect our dogs, but we don't understand what's happening. So you just think, I'm going to keep my dog away from another dog, and that way nothing's ever going to happen. Yeah, it probably won't happen, physically damaging your dog or your dog damaging another dog, but you're going to have a pretty unhappy dog, a very, closed off kind of dog. And let them be a dog, let them be natural. And you're not going to let them do that because you're afraid. So my advice is read up about dogs, read the psychology of dogs, read how they communicate with each other naturally, read about their genes still being very much a wolf, that everything is still there to communicate with each other. We can't keep stopping this from happening because we are creating more and more problems. So my advice is talk to people, but try and have your dogs off lead with other dogs, pick the right dogs, and let them interact as much as possible to learn what they need to learn. And read up on dogs, educate yourself so you know what you're looking at, so that you're not afraid. And then that way, hopefully, we can cut out some of this reactive behaviour that we're seeing more and more of at the moment. I just want happy dogs when I'm on a walk. These look pretty happy. Cool. Come on then, guys, let's go. Let's go. Come on this way.